Hello, this is Annalisa from Faith Dream Create, and welcome back to my channel. You are watching my Christmas card series for 2023, and in today's card I'm going to be using this die by Tim Holtz. This is the Hippopotamus Bernice, and this is the Colorize Thinlits dies. So we're going with the I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas theme, and then I do have another die set. I'm not sure what it's called, but I'll have it linked down below. I just don't have it in front of me. But I do use a few accessories from the die set off to the side. Now I am just taking it out of the packaging and getting familiar with all of the dies. This particular die set does have like instructions on the back, like 1 brown, 2 brown, 3 cream. So that's definitely helpful, giving you an idea of the different layers. Some of the dies don't have that, but some of them do, so definitely check out the backs of the dies. So I did have to use my Big Shot machine for this because they didn't fit into my Sizzix Sidekick machine, a little bit too big, so I'm going to die cut this off camera, but right now I'm just getting familiar with the pieces, and once all the die cutting is done, I will be back and I will assemble this together for you, and we will keep on rolling with the card. So here are all the finished pieces. I did alter it a little bit to the browns and the creams that I had in my collection. I used some of my scraps for this and a few bigger pieces. So Tim Holtz dies are super fun, and they are a lot of work to assemble, but definitely worth it in the end. I love how as you add all of the different layers, you get a 3D effect, and the image just comes to life, and it is so fun. I've been really enjoying Tim Holtz dies lately, and I have a bunch that I have been using that I've been picking up, so definitely try them out if you have not, and I'll have all of the supplies linked down below for you if you want to get a closer look or pick up some for yourself, or maybe as Christmas gifts. You can definitely check out the links down below. I'm using the Barely Art glue to assemble this hippopotamus, and I'm going to go with a purple theme. As you can see, I did do a purple scarf, and I'm going to cut out a purple bow as well from that other die set from Tim Holtz. You could go with any theme. The recipient that is getting this card likes purple, so that is why I went with purple, but you could go with traditional Christmas colors as well. You could even switch out the colors of the hippopotamus. Make it a purple hippopotamus, or a pink hippopotamus, or a Christmas colored hippopotamus. That's the fun thing about these dies. They give you the sample and the idea, but you can switch it out and make it your own. So a few of these smaller pieces I'm popping out now: the eyes, and then the hoofs, and the nostrils, and then the spots, and the nose. So the nostrils and the nose, I felt like they needed to be a little bit more brown just to stand out, so I'm going to come back in with a Distress Oxide ink and my Rabbit Hole Designs blending brushes to add a little bit of brown to those here in a little bit, so that they stand out on the color. You didn't necessarily need to do this, but I wanted them to stand out, so we're going to do that. We're first going to figure out where all of the pieces go, because there's so many little small elements. It's like, where does this go? Where does that go? So using the picture that comes with the die is so helpful for especially these little itty bitty parts. But then I will come back in with the oxide ink on those nostrils and that nose to make them stand up more. Then you can see I'm adding the small details of the hoofs before I glue it in, because I want to make sure that I'm putting the pieces in the right spot. Making a plan before you glue. And then I can come back in with my glue and get this card done. It's definitely fun to see this all come together, and once you put on the eyes, the hippo really starts to come to life. And this piece was so small, it was so hard to glue on, but so worth it. You could definitely just draw in eyes, or even adding googly eyes to this would be super cute. You can get like the mini googly eyes. I think I have some in my collection somewhere, or used to. The itty bitty mini googly eyes would look so cute here. Make it even more alive and more fun. So then I'm going to grab my Distress Oxide ink and add in the brown on the nostrils and the nose before I glue those down. But first I need to glue down the other parts. So many pieces to glue down to make this hippopotamus come to life. You could even stamp a sentiment onto the hippopotamus's back that was like Christmas themed. I wanted to say the words, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas on here, but I don't have a sentiment that says I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Maybe I need to look for that, because I might need to make more hippopotamus cards for Christmas because it's just too fun. It would be really cute to have stamped something on the back of his, on that one spot, like I want a hippopotamus for Christmas, or something with that hippopotamus theme, a pun for the hippo card. So getting the last details done here on the hoofs, and then like I said, I will add in that ink. So many details to this card, but really, really fun. So fun. Oh yes, there's even a detail on the tail. So moving these off so I can do some ink blending on them. And I will pull out my ink. I'm using Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink, and then I will pull out my Rabbit Hole Designs blending brushes, which are my go-to blending brushes, but Rabbit Hole Designs has increased their shipping from their website to Canada. So if you are in Canada and you are on the hunt for blending brushes, I feel like these scrapbook.com ones that they just recently came out with they look very similar, so you can definitely try out that. And I want to try out those blending brushes as well in the new year or in the next little while. So that is just a tip for my Canadian subscribers and followers if you were on the hunt for blending brushes. And of course, Simon Says Stamp and lots of other companies have blending brushes, but if you want a similar look to the ones that I'm using, I feel like scrapbook.com is your go-to. But there's probably more companies that have similar ones. So then I'm adding the nostrils in and the nose with the fresh ink blending on there and getting that done. And then we're going to see how I make this a Christmas card. How do I tie the hippopotamus in to that Christmas theme? Adding a few more details. So many details. Oh yes, he has some extra pieces for his horns or ears as well. And then I was hoping that this scarf would fit on the hippopotamus, but it didn't. So I decided to die cut a bow from that other die set, and I will be adding in some details as well with the purple Spectrum Noir marker, because I wanted this purple to pop off of the hippo and really stand out. There's also another little element to glue down to it to make it a little more 3D. So that's what I'm doing now. And then I'll add in that detailing to make it stand out even more. And like I said, you could switch up the colors to whatever you wanted. I just chose to go with purple. You could go red and green for more traditional colors, but it's okay to use other colors for Christmas cards. So adding that detail in, and then I will glue this bow to the hippo's back to add in that I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Well, here is your hippopotamus for Christmas with a bow on his back, and this is your gift. And I think that this would be so fun to give for any occasion as well. You could definitely put the bow on his back for a birthday or an anniversary as well. So now how am I going to make this Christmassy? So I'm going to grab out a stencil from Paper Rose Studio that says Merry Christmas and create a background, and I'm going to go ahead and use the purple again. I'm going to be using a purple ink from Simon Says Stamp. and create this a fun background and bring in that Christmas element. Using the same blending brushes again, of course, and it's really, really fun to watch this background come to be. I really, really like this stencil. So I am going to make sure that you can see the full words of Merry Christmas at least once on the card when I glue down my hippopotamus. But we're almost done stenciling, and then it's the big reveal of what it looks like on the card base. Here we go. I love how this looked. You don't see the sentiment a ton because it goes off of the page, but I wanted to make sure you could at least read it once, so I do move the hippo up a little bit higher so you can read that sentiment. So now I'm going to glue this hippopotamus down and then add that bow in as well. So the hippopotamus does go off the card a little bit, but I think that's fun, adds to it and gives it a different element. So continuing to use my Barely Art glue and adding this hippopotamus on, getting him ready for Christmas. I'm going to add that bow and then the scarf that didn't work on him. I didn't want it to go to waste, so I'm going to add it on the inside here in a minute to finish off the inside. I don't always do things on the inside, but every once in a while, if I have an extra piece or have an idea, I will go ahead and decorate the inside, but I don't usually. But every once in a while, it is fun to do so. But before I get to the inside, I did take out another purple Simon Says Stamp ink and just ink up the edges a little bit just to finish it off. I didn't want to add too much to this because the background is already pretty busy, but I thought it would be fun to bring in a little bit of a darker purple around the edges because the bow is a little bit darker and this ink matched that bow. You could definitely add some sparkle to the bow or to the hippopotamus with the Spectrum marker, but I chose to keep it simple. So now I'm adding in the scarf. There is 2 elements to the scarf to give it dimension and a layer, and then I will come back in with that purple Spectrum marker and add in a little bit more detail to make this scarf leap off the page and give it more depth and outline it a little bit. And then that is going to finish up the card, and I will show you the finished product at the end in a close-up. But thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I am sharing Christmas cards right up till Christmas because I want to inspire you, and I didn't get a chance to post the cards every week, so I'm bringing you the content now right before Christmas because maybe you have last-minute Christmas cards to be making, or you can be watching this in the new year and be making Christmas cards all year to have lots to give away once Christmas comes around again. So thank you so much for watching, and Merry Christmas, and I will see you in the next one. But we are going to finish up this card first, and then we will say goodbye again. We are almost done. So that is that, and I'm going to show you the close-up. Give you all the details. I think it would look pretty good with some sparkle as well. Yeah, there is the inside, and that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now, and Merry Christmas.